Hello everyone, this is Jebro, and this is a Mesmer build that I've been playing around with pretty much since the April feature patch as well. Haven't changed it too much, changed runes, sigils here and there, utilities, and this build really is interchangeable with loads of different stuff. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be best with. I feel it's pretty strong at the moment, really kicking some serious ass and surviving quite well. Actually swapping, I swapped Nullfield in recently for Portal for a lot more survival. So solo queue wise, this is definitely an awesome build. And even with that Nullfield, I feel like you're doing a bit of support as well in team fights. So I do think this is a great build, and also, of course, do have Time Warp, which I just love and I'm kind of obsessed with at the moment. So basically, this is the first character I've ever made in Guild Wars 2 as well, and I don't actually play on him too much, but he's still my main Jebro, I guess. So this is him. I'm using a Greatsword and a staff and a Greatsword. And for on the staff, I've gone for the Sigil of Energy. So that's going to give me 50% of my endurance back when I swap to that weapon. Sigil of Battle is going to give me extra might stacks as well. When I switch to that weapon. So Sigil of Energy again on the Greatsword, so same as before, gaining back the endurance, which is very, very important, as you'll see as we go through the traits. The Sigil of Intelligence is going to increase my, so it's going to give me 100% critical chance. I do like this. It's for free attacks, and when I go into my Greatsword, you know, I've got some good attacks. It will be Phantasmal, Beserker, and also probably Mirror Blade, and the others, you know, it's going to be situational. It just really depends on what I use. So with Phantasmal Beserker, I mean, when it says free attacks, I'm not sure if it's AoE or if it's exactly with the Phantasm as well. I'm not 100% sure, but it does feel like I do a load more damage if I go to my Greatsword and then I open up with the Phantasmal Beserker, So that's pretty strong. Just those sigils as a combination, and also I'm stacking some might there as well, so it's going to give me some extra damage, which is pretty damn sweet. So going for Berserker's Amulet as well. There's really no toughness in this build, or vitality. The only vitality I'm getting is from the Berserker's Amulet. And to be honest, I actually survive pretty well. Whether or not it's just because I'm getting used to this build and I'm starting to play it pretty well. I'm not too sure, but it might not work for you. You might want to change it to something else. I'm not sure massively, to be honest, what I'd use. But for me, at the moment, this is working pretty well. So going over to the Rune, and I wanted to use the Rune of the Mesmer, because I'm a Mesmer, damn it, and I wanted to use it, and it's actually proving pretty nice. It's just stats up until the 5 piece, which is where you see there, and then you see the number 6. That's plus 33 day. That's plus 33% days duration, which is pretty darn good. I do like the fact that I can daze a lot in this build. It's pretty much what this build's about. It's called the Stunner, and when we get to the traits, you'll see exactly why. So as you saw there, it's power, precision. So it's all damage, and then the 33% days duration. Just going to go over to the traits now. So my traits are 64400. Right, so people are probably going to go up in arms about this. I don't know, and I don't even know if people are playing this build at the moment, because I'm seeing mainly, you know, everyone's gone towards illusions, or you know, standard kind of shatter builds and whatnot. As Condi builds are starting to come up now as well. So I feel that this build could be really good around conditions as well. But basically, I'm going to go through the traits and domination line first. So illusion of vulnerability. Inflict vulnerability when you interrupt a foe. So if I'm going to daze my opponents and I'm going to stun them, I will be potentially doing a lot of interrupts. I will also potentially be able to do an interrupt using such abilities as illusionary wave. Also with my shatters, such as diversion, which will cause a daze. That's another interrupt. Also, again with Chaos Storm, causing another daze, which is another interrupt. Especially if they're in the field, they're going to get dazed a lot as well. So if anyone else is dazing around me, it's going to be pretty damn epic. And also, I've got my Mantra of Distraction, people. That's 2 charges. That's 2 casts to daze. So much daze. Oh my god, I've got so much chance to interrupt. It's just awesome. And I can interrupt downing, I can interrupt rezzing, you know. And then when I'm doing that, if they're going for the res, I might use someone that's just like, you know, as bait. And I'll just be like, yeah, I'll interrupt that guy, be able to put 3 stacks of vulnerability on and just get loads of damage up. And you'll see exactly why. And that's just on that first minor trait, Jesus. Okay, so the first one I've got is deal damage when interrupting a foe. There you go. So even more damage for interrupt, which is pretty damn sweet. So dazing a foe also applies vulnerability. What? I can literally stack up almost 24 stacks of vulnerability. Sorry, I can literally stack vulnerability as much as I want throughout a fight. If I time it right, I can always keep stacking vulnerability no matter what I'm doing. If I'm dazing the foe, I'm stacking in vulnerability. If I've got an interrupt, I'm stacking vulnerability, you know. It's just, it's coming out all over the shop from all the abilities, including my utilities. It's really nice. Okay, so shatter skills also remove a boon on hit. So if they've got something like I'm interrupting them, they've got vigor or they've got regeneration, and then I've got want to go for some more dazes, I can daze them and take their regeneration and vigor off them and stability if they're going for a down. So if they're going for a down, I want to be using my shatters on people because I can actually get rid of that stability and then potentially knock them away. Pardon me. So it's a really nice for that, you know, for the combo of damage and the combo of stripping boons as well. It's pretty damn sweet. So going for Wastrels, however you say that, punishment, which is increased damage to foes who are not using a skill. So I guess pretty much people who are either out of combat or, you know, they're just kind of waiting for cooldowns. Damage increases 5%. So if you see someone who's not using abilities, they're kind of hanging out a bit for mainly like healing and waiting for their rotations. Try and focus that guy a little bit more if you potentially can. Now, confounding suggestions is... I'm torn between this and power block, but to be honest, this is the main one. You know, this is around the stun build, so I wanted to go for this. So chance to inflict stun whenever you daze a target, increased daze duration. Do I need to explain that anymore? Really? I mean, the 50% extra chance to get a stun when you're dazing is pretty damn sweet. And I'm interrupting, and if I can stun them for 1 second, I can do a lot of damage in a second with a Mesmer. You can burst pretty quickly, especially if you've got your if I've got my shatters up as well, and I'm using mainly, as I said, diversion to get that off, and also I do use distortion a lot for downs and such and so forth as well. So that is a really nice trait, and it really helps a lot. And whenever you're in a fight, in a team fight, and you feel like you've been stun locked, I really feel like that is something which comes a lot into this. Between that and like a necro, if you think about necro stunning, and then also those interrupts combined with those stuns, oh my god, you can cause so much pain. It's horrible. I've done it. I played with a necro as well, and we've kind of run around dueling with this against other players, and it's just it's brutal. Okay, so we're going to go into dueling now. So critical infusions gain vigor when delivering a critical hit. So my critical chance is at 49%, and obviously when I switch over to Sigil of Intelligence with my Greatsword, I will be healing myself as I will be getting 100% crit. So even when I'm trying to do my most DPS in this build, I will be gaining vigor, and that's every 10 seconds. I actually have quite a lot of vigor up. Just remembering that, I actually have quite a lot of boons up when I'm in this build. It's quite nice. So your phantasms have fury, which is always good, especially I keep talking about Phantasmal Beserker. The damage is just so good. It really is nice on this build. Okay, sharper images. If illusions inflicts bleeding on critical hits, so crit is quite high on this build with Phantasm Beserker. I don't crit as much with the Warlock, but obviously I will also be getting the bleeding, which is extra damage, which is nice. Okay, so deceptive evasion, pretty much, you know, I'm dodging. I need to create clones to make sure that I'm getting like diversion off, and also when I want to down someone, I need to be having distortion. And I really feel that most Mesmer builds, unfortunately, are really based around this trait. You know, deceptive evasion is so important for so many builds to have, to use your shatters, and I kind of feel that it's almost something which should just be put into the class, because without it, it just feels like I don't feel very good. I don't feel useful at all. So, metaphysical rejuvenation, game regeneration when your health drops below the threshold, which is 75%, and it's a regen for 12 seconds, which is pretty nice. You know, it's just a regen. There you go. This is debatable. I'm not too sure about this. Debilitating dissipation. I can inflict. So clones apply a random condition to nearby foes when they are killed. So bleeding, vulnerability, or weakness. Now this is pretty good, because I can inflict some extra vulnerability if I'm lacking some stacks, but it feels like I'm going a bit overkill with the vulnerability. So you could change it with a number of things. I mean, for some extra survivability, Chaos Armor is very good. Of course, you can inflict conditions on foes when they try to attack you. You can also get swiftness, regen, or protection. So that is quite good to have. And the cooldown is 10 seconds. So, I mean, it's only, the problem is, you know, it's only when you're ready. And it's, I don't want to die, so why would I do that? Obviously, that's not very useful. Recharge and manipulation skills, I mean, it's not really worth it, if you ask me. It's just, yeah, I don't think so. Maybe there isn't. Maybe this is probably the only other one I'd go for. Illusionary defense, maybe just for the reduced damage, but still I'm shattering those quite a lot. Maybe gain retaliation when you're down, but still not as strong as this. I feel it does add to my damage. So I'm actually going to say that this is probably the best one for this build, in my opinion. Okay, so illusionary membrane, gain protection when you gain regeneration. No, it's not too bad if you're going to gain that regeneration here. Also, you're going to potentially gain regen if you're in Chaos Armor. Of course, there is the little mini combos you can do. So I can put condition on. I can put the Chaos Armor on normally, and also I can, of course, put the Chaos down, and then also use phase retreat out of that, and that will give me a Chaos Armor there as well. So when you get hit, you've got those boons or those conditions on the enemy, and you potentially could get some regen out of that. And also you've already got protection. I'm not too sure if it stacks, if I'm 100% sure. 100%, I can't 100% actually say that that's true. So bountiful interruption is quite nice. Gain might when you interrupt a foe. So now we're going to be interrupting a hell of a lot, even if we're by accident. And then you can gain another boon randomly. Again, it does seem to stack when I've been testing it. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does, but I feel like it's more of, you know, it's just a chance. It does say randomly, so what randomly means, I don't know. Whether or not it's a random condition, or if you're just going to gain it randomly, who knows. It's very, very loose. Needs to probably be a little bit more definitive as to what that actually means. Basically, that's the build. It is very fun to play. It is very good. You need to be really thinking about what targets you're going to hit, whether or not you're going to... things to definitely point out is to have Mantra of Distraction, charged up before you're going to go into any fight. As you did see, it takes a while to actually cast that. It's about 2 or 3 seconds. It's just... it takes a long time to actually charge up that ability, so you want to have that ready, and then you can click it once and you'll daze, and then you've got about 5 seconds or so until it comes back off cooldown and you can use the other charge, which is pretty nice. Escaping blink is very good. It does have a 30-second cooldown, so you use it sparingly, and it does break stun. I would use it... the speed that you can get around the map isn't too good. If you pick up swiftness in a fight just out of Chaos Armor, and you can get Chaos Armor quite a lot, that's pretty good. Of course, with Nullfield, if you put Nullfield down and then once again using Phase Retreat, you will get that Chaos Armor. So the potential for you to get a lot of swiftness, it can happen if you can get into Chaos Armor enough, and I do seem to have some swiftness here and there, but your main moving around the map ability is Blink, and you can also switch that out for Portal if you want to use it for more team-orientated fighting. I haven't really used Portal this much. I haven't been playing this build in teams much, but I have been using it sometimes here and there just to test to see how effective it is. But obviously the cooldown on Portal is quite immense. So basically, also another thing to note is they do have Time Warp. Now, if you watch teams like 55 HP Monks, now Misham uses a portal, obviously uses a portal, but uses Time Warp very, very effectively. If you can use a Time Warp when you either think someone's going to go down and you can burst them down quick and get them down in that amount of time that Time Warp's up, then cool. Otherwise, you could use it also for rezzing your teammates. I potentially use it to get down a foe, and normally when I'm trying to get down a foe, I'll also see what's happening in the fight, and also one of my allies might be going down as well, so it's a perfect time to get a Time Warp down because they've got even less time. Because you gain that quickness, and they've got even less time to think about what they're going to use, whether they're going to use a knockback, whether or not someone else is going to use an AoE knockback who's trying to res them, and such and so forth. It's very good. I love it. It's a great ability, and to be honest, I don't like just running massive visibility. I don't think it's as good as it was when we had the proc from the Lissa rune, so when you use that you got all the boons. I just don't like it anymore because I feel like I'm losing points, I'm losing caps whenever I use it. If we're trying to stealth into a point, fair enough, but I just don't like it as much as I used to. And Moa is a good tank killer, but it's a 180-second cooldown. I'd rather have a Time Warp because the Time Warp is just uber in team fights, and I just love it. It's a good ability. I'll stop talking about it. But basically, guys, that's pretty much the build. I am going to do a gameplay video as soon as I possibly can. Just a bit busy this week, so probably Thursday night, Friday or Saturday I'll get a gameplay video out. But guys, thank you very much for watching this build video. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, I'm not saying I'm the best Mesmer in the world. I'm not saying that you should definitely run this build, but give it a bash, see how you feel. Leave me a comment below. Tell me how you feel it worked out. I'm almost getting there with all the classes from this feature patch to get one build out from each class. So keep watching, keep subscribed to my channel, and don't forget to join me on Twitter at JebDan, and I will see you very good. I'll see you very soon, hopefully. Hopefully you're good. Are you good? I'm good. You're good. We're all good. See you very soon, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.